Hi, it's me, Gabby from GoNaturalEnglish.com. A lot of English lessons will tell you that just and only can be used interchangeably, but that is only partly true. They're not giving you the full story. So in this English lesson, I'm going to share with you what just means, what only means, when to use them with lots of examples, and share what native speakers know. Lots of collocations and idiomatic phrases that we can only use with only or just. And then at the end, I'll give you a quiz to test your understanding. So did you know that only can mean just, but just doesn't always mean only? I don't know if that sounds a little confusing, so we're going to talk about it in this English lesson. Now, if you're ready to improve your fluency and your confidence, then buckle up because this is going to be a good one. I started researching the difference between just and only, and even I was surprised at how we use them so differently in the English language as native speakers use them in collocations, which means words that we always use together, kind of like friends or partners, and in idiomatic phrases, which may not make sense when you think about the literal meaning of the word, but native speakers know what they mean. So as I mentioned, just can mean only, but only cannot always mean just. It sometimes means just, but it doesn't always mean just. That means that just has a lot more uses than only. So just and only can both mean simply, and we can use them interchangeably when we mean simply. But let me share some of the other ways we can use just and only. By the way, if you do enjoy this free English lesson, you should know that I have a complete English course and you can join the wait list to learn more and get a notification when registration opens again at GoNaturalEnglish.com/pre-reg. Just and only have 5 different meanings each. Just means exactly. For example, that's just what I needed. That's exactly what I needed. Now, notice that I can't use only here. I can't say that's only what I needed. It just doesn't have the same meaning. Only, on the other hand, means solely or exclusively. There are only a few tickets left. Here, I could use just. There are just a few tickets left, and it has the same meaning. Just can mean recently. For example, she's just arrived, meaning she's recently arrived. Only can also mean recently. For example, it was only discovered last year. We can also use just in this sentence. It was just discovered last year. Just can mean barely or by a little. For example, Go Natural English just has under 2 million subscribers now on YouTube. But only can mean something negative, like more money will only bring more problems. We can use just here instead of only. More money will just bring more problems, but we can't use only instead of just in my previous example. I couldn't say Go Natural English has only under 2 million subscribers. That is incorrect. Just can mean simply. For example, I just drink black coffee. I don't take cream or sugar. Here, I can actually use only. I only drink black coffee. As I mentioned before, just and only can both mean simply, but I'm talking about some different uses of just and only right now. Only can mean single or alone in its kind. For example, true story, I've only ever run 1 full marathon. I could also use just in this sentence. I've only ever just run 1 full marathon, and it has the same meaning. Just can be emphasis, like you're just great, kind of like so or really, but I cannot use only in this way. I can't say you're only great. It just doesn't really mean the same thing. Only can be a conjunction. For example, you just started learning English, only you sound fluent because you're so confident. Kind of like but or however or nevertheless. We use only as a conjunction in this way often in everyday conversation. It's a bit casual and we don't use it as much in writing, but it's possible to use it both in your conversation and in writing. Now, one more really interesting use of just is that we use it as a softener to make our questions or our sentences more polite. For example, if you come over to my home, I might say, just help yourself to anything you like. Or if you're eating dinner with me at my home, I could say, just have as much as you would like. So we can use it to be friendly or polite. Or if you're asking a question, could I just ask you a question? It's not necessary to use just, but we add it as a softener. Now, you might have noticed that we use just a lot in everyday spoken English, and that's why, because we use it as a softener and we use it often to mean so much or really to add emphasis. For example, you're just beautiful or you're just so smart. We can even use so and just together in the same sentence. So again, we can use just and only in the same sentence with the same meaning when we mean simply. For example, you can improve your English in just 15 minutes a day, or you can improve your English in only 15 minutes a day. And they really mean the same thing, simply. However, let's look at a different example. If I say, I just want to talk to you for a few minutes, it's like a softener. I'm using this to be a bit more polite and make a softer request that doesn't sound as demanding or harsh. But if I say, I only want to talk to you for a few minutes, it doesn't sound as polite and the emphasis is more on the limitation of the time. I'm really emphasizing that this will only take a few minutes. And again, it doesn't sound as polite. Of course, it's not rude to say only, but if you wanted to sound more polite, I would suggest using just. Now let's look at one other example. Let's just study for 15 minutes. Means let's give it a try. Let's only study for 15 minutes really puts that emphasis on the limitation of time. So I don't want to study any longer than 15 minutes. And I could make this sentence with neither, let's study for 15 minutes, and it's just straightforward. There's no kind of softener with just, there's no kind of emphasis on the limitation of time with only. So just to recap the meanings, just can mean exactly, recently, barely, or just a little bit. Simply, it can be used for emphasis or as a softener to add politeness to your sentences or questions. Only means solely, exclusively, recently, to introduce a negative or unfortunate result, to mean single or alone in its kind, and as a conjunction like but or however. Now, I would like to share some collocations and idiomatic phrases using only. We're going to go quickly, but I highly suggest that you try repeating these after me to practice your English speaking. Now, these are phrases that are commonly used in everyday English conversation, so trust me when I say that you should know these because you're probably going to hear them if you speak English long enough with native speakers. So here we go with idiomatic phrases and collocations with only. I only have one pair of hands means that I can only do so much by myself. A face that only a mother could love means not a very good-looking face. It's only a question of time, meaning that something is inevitable and it will happen after enough time. For example, global warming is only a question of time. Beauty is only skin deep, meaning that it's important to be beautiful on the inside and outside. For your eyes only. Think about those private text photo messages that you might send to someone that you don't want the whole internet seeing. That would be for your eyes only. The Lord only knows, or God only knows. This is an expression or an exclamation that we use when we are dumbfounded and really don't know what to say. Oh, the Lord only knows why that boy wears his pants so low. Only child. I do not have any siblings, so I am an only child. YOLO, or you only live once, means that you should take advantage of your life because you never know when it is the end. Cash only means that only cash, money, paper bills are accepted. If only, when you have a dream or a wish and you might say, oh, if only I had more money, or if only I were famous. So it's when you're introducing some kind of desire. Not only this, but that. So not only are you smart, but you're also beautiful. To only have eyes for, like when you're infatuated, in love with one person and a beautiful woman or a handsome man could walk by and you wouldn't even notice because you only have eyes for your true love. He's not the only fish in the sea, or she's not the only fish in the sea, means that, well, there are other possible partners for you. Only too glad. For example, if I'm at a party and I'm tired and I just want to go home, I would be only too glad when my friends say, hey, are you ready to go? One and only. When you say one and only, it really emphasizes one. Like, this is my one and only chance. I could say this is my one chance, but I'm really emphasizing it here. This is my one and only chance. Standing room only means that the place is very crowded, perhaps a live concert, and there are no seats, so you will be expected to stand. You're only as old as you feel. This is a common phrase meaning that really youth is in your mindset. To be second to none means you are the best. To be second only to something or someone means that you are really, really good, maybe in second place for something, but there is one other thing or person above you in ranking. The only way to go means that there is only one logical option. And if you're out shopping and a store clerk asks you, can I help you find anything? You might say, I'm only looking. Now this one is a great segue into phrases using just, because we can also say, I'm just looking. And this is a very useful phrase that you can use whenever you're shopping. If you really don't want to talk with someone working at the store, if you're just window shopping and looking around, you can say, I'm just looking, or I'm only looking. Just do it is a phrase that became popular as the Nike slogan. Just in case. Bring an umbrella just in case because it might rain. Just in the nick of time means without much time left. I arrived just in the nick of time. I wasn't late, but I was cutting it close. Just because means there really is no reason. So why are you watching this video? Is it because you're learning English, or just because? Just because you feel like it? I'm just saying is a really common phrase in conversation that is adding some emphasis to your opinion. So for example, your teacher might say, you should really study harder. I'm just saying. So it's to emphasize someone's opinion. Just around the corner or just ahead means very close or nearby. You might stop to ask for directions. Where is there a gas station? There's a gas station just around the corner or just ahead. If someone asks about your relationship with someone, you might say, we're just good friends. If you say we're just good friends, that means that you have no romantic intentions. Just along for the ride means that you're just going around with your friends or just there for the experience. You're not really leading in this situation. You're just enjoying the experience. I'm just along for the ride. Maybe you go to the mall with your friends and you're not looking to buy anything, but you're just along for the ride. Not just a pretty face. When you see someone who's good looking, but they also have talent or they're intelligent, you might say, hey, they're not just a pretty face. Don't underestimate them. It just so happens that means by chance or luckily. For example, if you ask, do you have 4 quarters for $1? I might say, it just so happens that I do. Just in time is similar to just in the nick of time. It means you've arrived with little time to spare. Just my luck means you feel unlucky. Oh no, it's raining, but I wanted to go to the beach. That's just my luck. So it's kind of a sad expression, but a little funny too. Just wondering. This is really a softener, but we use it quite often. I was just wondering if you could tell me what time it is. Just off the boat. This is the name of a TV show, but it can also be a kind of expression that's a bit derogatory, meaning someone who has just arrived from another country. I wouldn't recommend using it in conversation, but you should know what it means. You just don't get it means you just don't understand. I would just as soon means I would prefer. I would just as soon still go to the beach even though it's raining. Just between you and me means I'm telling you a secret. Just between you and me, this is a really good English lesson. Just for the heck of it means just to have fun. Why not? There's no reason not to do this thing. So hey, just for the heck of it, let's go to the beach today. Why not? Just the thing. I know just the thing that you would enjoy. Let me share it with you. It's just a question of time. We can also use this with only. It's only a question of time, meaning something that is inevitable that will probably happen as time passes. We just don't know how long it will take. So English fluency is just a question of time and effort. Could just as well means that I could do something else. So maybe we were planning to go to the beach, but it's raining, so I could just as well go to a movie today. Life is just a bowl full of cherries. This is an expression that means that life is just wonderful. Had just as soon. So it's raining, we're not going to the beach. You'd just as soon stay inside and study today. I just have a feeling. So it's giving some emphasis here. I just have a feeling that it's gonna be sunny later today, so we should still go to the beach. Just ask. If I want to encourage you to ask a question, I might say just ask. Just ask me anything. Just wait and see. So just be patient and we will see. Time will tell. Just a minute. So if you want someone to wait, instead of saying please wait, you could say just a minute or just a second. If you've ever had someone knock on the door when you were in a public restroom, you would respond with this if you're inside. Just a minute. Just another day at the office is an expression that means I'm at work. This is my normal work environment. Just my cup of tea means something that I enjoy. This beautiful weather is just my cup of tea. Just for the record means you're giving some information that you want to share with someone. Just for the record, I like my coffee black. So if you ever make coffee for me, now you know. It just goes to show is when you're sharing some information, some opinion, like it just goes to show that sometimes you have to change your plans depending on the weather. Just let me say, if you're interrupting or interjecting your opinion, you could use this. Just let me say, and then you share your opinion. Just let me say that you're doing a great job. It's just one of those things. When you're not really sure what to say, this is a great phrase to keep in your English toolkit. It's just one of those things. Just the facts means that you're giving some information that is not just your opinion, but it is true. It's just the facts. Also, if you don't want any extra information, you want someone to get straight to the point, you could say just the facts, please. Just the tip of the iceberg means this is only the beginning. Just whistlin' Dixie means someone who's just joking around. They're not serious. Some people just don't know when to quit. Means that some people just do too much and they don't know when they should stop. It's just as well that. So when something doesn't go the way that you want it to go, you might say this, oh, it's just as well that it's raining because I needed to get some work done today. Just a stone's throw away means when something is very close to you. Where's the gas station? It's just a stone's throw away. Just the same. Just the same means that it makes no difference. So do you want to drink coffee or tea? It's just the same. Well, it's raining today, we're not going to the beach. It's just the same. It doesn't matter. It's not that important. Just as long as means provided that. So for example, we can go to the beach today just as long as we study first, just as long as we get our work done first. Just what the doctor ordered means something that makes you feel good. Oh, this apple pie is just what the doctor ordered. Or this fresh squeezed juice is just what the doctor ordered. It makes me feel healthier. Just one job. You had just one job is a popular phrase when you mess something up and you want to tell someone that they should have been able to do this job. But that's just me. It means it's just my opinion. Could just as well, or you might as well, is a way of giving a suggestion. So it's raining today, so you might as well just stay at home and get some work done. Don't that just beat all is a very interesting way to say I can't believe it. But this is very colloquial, it's very casual, just like he's just whistling Dixie. This is not something that you'll hear all over the United States, it's more regional. It's just about time. Hey, it's just about time to finish work. Means that we're getting close to the time to finish. To just curl up and die means when you feel very embarrassed. Something embarrassing happened and I just felt like curling up and dying. But this is an idiomatic phrase. Just fell off the turnip truck. So this is not as commonly used. Again, it might be regional or a little bit old and people don't use it anymore, but it means someone who's not very smart. Just enough. So this means you have enough and not too much. Just now means very recently. Just passing through means you don't live in an area, you're just traveling through in a short amount of time. Just then means like just now, but in the past. So if you're telling a story, you might say, just then something happened. That's just the way it goes. Means that you have to have understanding that sometimes things go the way that you don't want them to go, but this is just the way it goes. We have to have comprehension. All right, that is just about enough of just, but this is just only the beginning. Can you think of any other phrases or idioms that use just or only? Tell me in the comments. And now let's test your understanding with a quiz. Which word would you use, just or only? Number 1, I have $10. Which one is best here? If you said either one, you're correct. We can use just or only. I have just $10 or I have only $10 because this means simply or limited to the amount of $10. 2, you have to try harder. The best answer for this one is you just have to try harder. I'm putting emphasis on this phrase by using just. Number 3, I can't believe I lost my keys. That's my luck. Now we learned about this phrase, so you know we should use just. That's just my luck. 4, I am child. If you said only, you are right. I'm an only child. 5, if I had $1 million. We can use only to talk about desires or wishes. If only I had $1 million. And 6, I think you should subscribe to Go Natural English on YouTube. If you said just, you are correct. I just think you should subscribe to Go Natural English on YouTube, and really you should. So just here is used to emphasize. If I said only, that would be strange because that means I think that you should limit your viewing to only Go Natural English, but there are so many great channels out there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on just versus only. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see you in another English lesson soon. Bye for now.